Gave my mom my handy dandies in case the block gets hot. And a little bada bop boom pow, a brass handoff from my mother. And bang! Speed with the assist. Shout out Speed. And bam! Introducing a new WWE World Tag Team Champions. But the night is young and my wife is proud to be married to a champion who goes straight from the sprinter to the jet. We ripped packs deep into the sky because that's what you do when you're living another day in the life of WWE's most humble champion. Woke up like The Undertaker. First thing.
So, have you been seeing any great things in social media recently, Menno?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I found an amazing account. As you know, I'm a big fan of The Boys.
Yeah.
And there's this account. Gotta look it up. Give me a second. Where is it?
Could it be this account, Menno?
It happens to be that account. Deep Thoughts with the Deep. The same picture over and over again, but the most brilliant philosophical quotes. Yeah, if your inner voice has an accent, where did it learn it? How deep can you go?
If time is money, why am I broke?
Yeah.
Still more real. Why is it never won?
Yeah. Listen, you got to watch The Boys. Like, it's probably one of the best scripted shows that I've seen. It's humor. It's large of what's happening, I think, in the U.S. and around the globe.
Well,
and
thanks.
From your country, is it?
He is a Kiwi, yes. I remember Anthony Starr, the actor, being in the show Outrageous Fortune when I was younger. Fantastic show about like a crime family, like comedy, drama. But yeah, I've started watching The Boys thanks to you, and it's great. But, you know, when I think about The Boys, I think about people that I consider I really admire. And I've got my own The Boys. I got
to tell you how I came to The Boys.
Yeah.
Here we go. I worked at Amazon and we had a town hall, and Jeff Bezos recommended The Boys as one of his favorite series. So kudos to the guy.
Yeah. Well, the Boys, they have spinoffs already, right? And I'm sure, like, even though it's going to end now, there's probably going to be more.
Well, there's a spinoff already with Gen V, which is the younger generation. Yeah. But I haven't seen if new episodes are coming. But if not everyone has seen it, you got to watch it. It's just fun. It's great.
I just started watching it. Well, but if I were to ask you, okay, who is someone in the media industry that is undervalued, underrated, and underloved?
Wow. Yeah, I think we already hinted a bit on it last time. So I'm going to give you the honor to tell who it is, because I know you're a fanboy of it.
Well, I would say Logan Paul is underrated, undervalued, underloved, and arguably the biggest maverick in media and entertainment. But his brother deserves that title just as much. I saw this article, and I saw someone wrote this, a whole article about how Logan Paul is undervalued, underrated, underloved. Yeah. If you scroll down, you can see that I wrote this several years ago. So back in 2021, because I honestly have become a big fan of Logan Paul, Jake Paul as well. And dude, they are the frontier of what media and entertainment is. They are on the path to being, as Paulina Marinova, I believe that's her last name, wrote on the profile recently. Paulina Pompliano. Will Jake and Logan Paul's haters make them billionaires? This came out a week or two ago. And I think if you think about it, I wrote my article in 2021. At the time, I was talking about all the things that Logan Paul was already doing. Like, you know, there's obviously the controversy about Japan, the forest. He was already kind of a big deal. Look at this. This is him on the cover of Adweek in 2016 as like this creator, this Vine star. It's something when you think about it, like, I was talking to someone about this, was it earlier today? But a lot of things in media and entertainment are just a matter of timing. Like Logan Paul starred in a film in the late 2010s that didn't do well. Disney bought, what was it called? Disney bought Maker Studios for $500 million in, what year was that? Back in 2014, which were YouTube MCNs were a massive thing back then. Creators were a massive thing 10, 15 years ago. It's just been an evolution. And what makes the Paul brothers unique is that they're one of the few people that have evolved in lockstep with the creator economy. A lot of people that were big Vine stars back in 2016, 15, 14, YouTubers, even like household name types like Ninja or PewDiePie have kind of faded into obscurity. At the very least, you could argue that they haven't grown that much. The Paul brothers have grown not just like in a commercial perspective, but they've become like kind of cultural massive stars at this point. You know, like I remember looking at this back, this is look 5 years ago, right? I already admired the fact that Logan Paul was creating.
Do you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be?
First off, can we just pause and reflect on how beautiful that line is? Logan Paul, for his clothing brand. Do you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be? This is poetry. And this is a great ad for his Maverick clothing brand. This came out years and years ago. He was already experiencing things like digital fan clubs, like the Maverick Club you could pay for. I remember I was looking, look, this is the Maverick Club. This was years ago. These are things that people consider novel right now. It's like, oh my gosh, I'll pay for like the Sidemen, Side Plus, like subscription platform. There are dozens of startups that just focus on this idea of like bespoke digital fan clubs. And I remember this was back when Mayweather and Logan Paul were fighting years ago, which is already a really big deal. Logan Paul's continued to increase in terms of his popularity. Mayweather, mad respect to him as a boxer historically, but he's becoming less and less relevant every day that goes by. And this was even before like the massive Jake Paul fights. So this again, it's 2021. Jake Paul's fights have gotten bigger and bigger over the last few years. This year, I think another underrated part about the music careers of Logan Paul and Jake Paul, part of these were like kind of jokes, kind of serious, but 277 million views from Logan Paul's song back in 2017 on YouTube. And I think what's interesting here is that Jake Paul, Everyday Bro, got to number 2 in the iTunes charts in 2017, probably has about 300 million views on YouTube right now. The thing with these guys is that they simultaneously take themselves very seriously and simultaneously take themselves not that seriously. And the beauty is most people don't realize. They think when they're being serious, they're not serious. They think when they're not.
I said that in that article, like it's almost like acting, you know, as soon as the camera is on, they're in a role. And I get the feeling like they try out new industries all the time. They develop their own products. They go into music. They go into sports. They're massive investors.
Yes.
So like they're running a business empire.
Well, and also they're just doing better and better at it each day that goes by. You know, like whether or not you agree with maybe their controversy, they're just making more and more success with regards to different things they do. I'm not also naive. I know there's controversy around different things Logan Paul's done, like obviously the Japan Forest, MetaZoo, which was his NFT project, which he's got sued for. You know, you could argue Jake Paul is like an asshole, has done some horrible things, but they're also just very controversial content creators that do things that they know will get attention. And we haven't even touched on the fact that not only did you know, these were YouTubers, right? If you saw Jake Paul videos even like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, he's this like funny kid doing like Jackass style pranks. Now he's a professional boxer, and you could argue like, oh, well, is he that serious of a boxer? He's already been in the ring with some of the biggest boxers of all time. And it's definitely serious at this point. Also, Logan Paul has become not just a WWE wrestler, but one of the biggest WWE wrestlers. Yeah. He's actually like headlining things like WrestleMania. These people have come from like, not every content creator has done that successfully. And in fact, most, if not none, have at all, which makes these guys so special.
Yeah. And I saw the news that he said like Jake was going to fight Canelo for 200 million. Apparently today I saw the news that he refused the offer because he's already making 400 million. Like, what are we talking about here? But what I find fascinating here is like they've gone beyond and beyond. Like, it's insane. Like, is it fair to say like they are a media brand, which is able to unlock all kinds of industries?
I think yes. I think that's true, and it's also underselling what it means to be a media brand, because the thing is, like, they're like platforms at this point. You know, it's not just about the fact that if you were to, let's say, pay to be a brand partner of Logan Paul, like for example, I'm looking.
Yes, sir.
This is paid partnership with Polymarket. So this is Polymarket paying him for, this looks like a crazy piece of content. And this is what I guess what you call like a traditional content creator.
Yeah.
That's great, right? Like, this is super cool. And also just to comment on the fact that this is really good content. It's not just Logan Paul saying, hey guys, you should use Polymarket. This is actually a pretty crazy creative idea that gets attention. The same way how like Mr. Beast, if he does like brand partnerships, it's not as simple as like Mr. Beast promoting something. He integrates it into some crazy video like what Logan's done here.
Yeah.
But
and they actually don't need this. Like, this is just helping the rest of the money that they're making. They could do without easily.
Exactly. Well, which is why these guys have created their own products. And now that I think about it, as we're talking out loud, they've created multiple products. Obviously, just look at Jake right now. The W men's grooming product, I thought this was really impressive. I think it launched with Walmart on day one. And that's the thing too, where like, if you're a retailer or a traditional brand, let's take Walmart, you want to get into the culture, right? And Jake Paul, as controversial as he can be, he is part of modern popular culture. And precisely because he is so polarizing, that's what makes people want to watch him. It's kind of like in a way, like the Fox News-esque playbook in a nutshell, in the form of a YouTuber. But he also, I think, look, he calls it an apology, but he's like making fun of this whole thing, but he's like, he knows he's controversial. Now, I think if you look at this guy.
I know when he did the fight, I think against Tyson, like his brother was constantly spraying the deodorant, etc. It's almost like is it fair? They're a modern MTV channel, which has diverse kind of content, provocative, young, edgy, and I think maybe early days a lot of advertisers were afraid as well to go on MTV. Oh, that could ruin my brand, like I would be seen with a video clip that could be too sexy or too much violence, etc. Jackass, I don't want to be seen next to Jackass.
Well, also, Vice was like that too. Like, Vice was pretty edgy. But I remember a colleague of ours was telling me, a former colleague, how it was 2016 Cannes Lions, the Super Bowl of advertising, where Vice was like the hottest brand in the world at that point.
And it was the party to go to. But I think the difference here is Vice took itself very seriously.
Yeah.
I think these guys know who they are and what they can do. And I think the trick here is also don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah. Well, look at this. This is clearly like an AI generated image of Jake Paul that's kind of making fun of him. This is a song that he released, it's Everyday Bro, years ago. He knows that like people kind of hate him. Look at this. This is, I think,
I love that one. Yeah. So I'm from Holland, as you can probably hear. And I don't think he was on the radar that much. I think it started with the Tyson fight. Everyone knew it, but he really got on the radar when he announced his fiancée, Jutta Leerdam, gold medalist and silver medalist 2 times, actually. And we take our ice skating or speed skating very seriously. And I think this is the moment when everyone went like, okay, all right, what do we have here?
Yeah.
And I think this is no longer, well, it is. It's an international phenomenon now.
Yeah. Well, and look at this is a meme he posted himself, because people were making fun of the fact that during the Olympics he was crying when Jutta won. Like, respect, like he's not hiding this and like airbrushing it. Look at this. He didn't even cry when AJ broke his jaw.
Yeah.
This is great. And this is the thing. I think maybe like we talk about authenticity, right? And it's a word that, a lot of very sanitized brand executives say as if it's something written by their corporate comms team. But this is actually what authenticity means, in my opinion. And that
I agree with you, because if they weren't authentic, it would have been a one-day fly, maybe 2 years and they're gone. But they started on YouTube. They're big on Instagram and they're big on TikTok as well. And you and I have spoken about this before. Not everyone gets to have 20 million followers on each platform, and both of them have it. Like in total, each have 70 million followers or more.
Yeah. Well, they just added all this. So what do you think people don't like about the Paul brothers? Is it that they are kind of douchey? Is it the fact that they break rules? They're controversial. They associate, there's Trump.
I think like outside
I'm a little fucked up.
outside of the US, it's just too USy.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
over the top. They're blunt about we're here to make money as well. And I think people, I think actually the reason why people don't like them is they don't understand the culture.
That's a really good point.
Because
That's
like
really good
being
point.
loved and hated is a very thin line. And I think they are able to play that game very well. And I think is that people just don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, I think also people don't understand it. However, they still have a massive, massive fan base. The same way how, like we said in the last episode, I was talking about how I was talking to some very big executives about iShow Speed. And some of them were like rolling their eyes, like, oh, that's not content. And the people who are rolling their eyes are, on paper, very influential senior executives in the media entertainment industry. And they probably share that opinion with a lot of their peers. But there's still hundreds of millions of fans that would die to see Speed on a daily basis. So while there are a lot of people that might look at the Paul brothers and say, oh, look at these guys, let me roll my eyes. If Jake or Logan Paul walked into a store in Amsterdam, there'd be dozens, hundreds of kids being like, I'm so happy to see you right now, you know?
Yeah. So like it's clear, like they wouldn't be that popular if it just because everyone hated them. Like it's just not possible. So there's love there as well. Or love, at least I think they know how to entertain people. And they know exactly what to do it and how to make it attractive in these days. And let's face it, like big iconic sporters, even the Netflixes of these worlds want to get in bed with them as well. So like the traditional world wants to be part of what they're doing.
Well, and the thing is, like, they are very, very, they're just like powerful media entities at this point. And what I think is the underrated part of this is we talk about the anti-fund, right? This is the Jake Paul's investment firm that Logan has just joined. And I think like this is on their website. Capital is commodity, attention is not. Now, if I am an investor, or actually, sorry, if I'm a founder and I'm looking for the right investor, I'm not expecting Jake Paul to tell me how to build AI tools, but I'm expecting that Jake Paul can give me access to attention, eyeballs in a way that, quite frankly, no one else can. So if you think about this too, this kind of is the framing of most products in general, because not only is capital commoditized these days, but so is technology, so is product. Attention is the most important thing in the broader attention economy. And Jake and Logan are two of the best people in the world at making this happen. So what I think is actually insane here is that he's not investing in just cute things. Dude, look at this. Jake Paul.
Like everyone here. Oh, yeah.
SpaceX, Anduril, Ramp, Cognition, Polymarket, Physical Intelligence, Flock Safety, and Chronosphere. And I remember, I think Jake, I think Cognition is like a fairly technical, AI company. But I remember, I think when Cognition raised around at billions of dollars, or whatever, Jake Paul, I think, tweeted like a few lines about like, oh yes, like the autonomous, like agentic layer and the deep networking happening between these nodes is very amazing. People are like laughing at him, but like he's laughing his way to the bank, you know, like he's not there to add value as a technical founder, but he's there to add value to just get this in front of people. You know, that's the most important thing. These guys know how to do that better than almost anyone else in the world.
And not only that, now you get the feeling they have a track record, you know, like, so them being on the ticket is worth more than it was. So their money is working like triple the times that it normally would do.
Well, they also keep launching new companies, you know, like obviously Prime, which we should talk about because I know Prime gets a lot of hate, but really quickly on the latest company that Logan's launched. Have you heard of Ripit? Ripit's a new like collectibles live trading platform, kind of a competitor-ish to Whatnot, as I understand it. And it feels pretty authentic in the sense that Logan is a big fan collector of sports cards, Pokemon cards, etc. And to be fair as well, I know he did launch or co-found Liquid Marketplace back in the sort of NFT boom. And I don't know if that's happening. So I'm not here to defend his impeccable business career. It's not like some things haven't failed, but that's also what I respect. You know, like the Kardashians, I think an underrated part of the Kardashian story is that they've launched a lot of companies that didn't work out, but they throw a lot of shots on goal. And even the most successful on paper creators, business people, they still have like a success rate that's not 100%. It might be actually quite a low success rate, but they just keep going at it. And I respect that. It could have been so easy for them to like collapse under the pressure or get, people so angry at them that they think, okay, I'm going to just retreat from the spotlight, but they're doing the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the most expensive card, eh?
Yeah. Most expensive Pokemon card of all time. That,
was it 13 million. And the man who bought it, Anthony Jr.
Scaramucci's son, he must be in one of these photos. I think there he is. Yep, this guy right here.
Yeah, and for those who don't know who Anthony Scaramucci is on the podcast The Rest is Politics US with Kathy Kay, one of my favorite US politics podcasts. And his father is a crypto and a Wall Street investor. But the thing is, what I liked about it is like everyone thought this was a joke, him walking around on a chain, etc. What did he buy the thing for? 5 million or something like that?
I think so. And it's funny because my old company, we did a collaboration with the guy he bought it from, Gary King Pokemon. Maybe I'll be able to scroll back here, but Gary King Pokemon is one of the biggest Pokemon card influencers. Now Logan's, obviously a bigger one, but he was actually this old guy who's been like this Pokemon card collector for years. And Logan bought it off him. I want to say for single-digit millions. But the thing is, like, this is a perfect example of how like culture can add like tangible commercial value, because what happened is he wore that Pokemon card to his Floyd Mayweather fight, like encased in this like box.
I know.
But then suddenly it became part of pop culture, right? So that card, the value of that card increased because it was no longer just a card. It was Logan Paul's card that was worth the Mayweather fight.
Yeah. It's a question like, will we still be looking at the Paul brothers in 5 to 10 years time from now? Or will they be businessmen making more money out of investments, etc.? How do you see this evolve? Like, it's difficult looking into the future, but what's your take?
I think that they will be they'll be bigger and bigger in everything they're doing. I think that they'll still create content. Maybe they'll spend their time on, at the end of the day too, it's like, look, Logan Paul creates content via the WWE, right? In addition to his own media brands, etc. He still creates content for his brands like Prime. So I think that they'll still be creators, and maybe it'll be like a different version. Maybe it's less physical stuff. Maybe it's more.
Their audiences will grow up with them at a certain moment. They're still young at heart, but at a certain moment, you can pretend to be very young, but like you'll have young kids on the block, which will take over which will get the younger and new audiences.
But he's so diversified that, like, Logan Paul could just focus on impulsive. Maybe it's like he'll be, I know he'll eventually age out of WWE physically, but maybe he starts having impulsive as his number one focus as like a talk show, right? Which already is, right?
Or he has his own wrestling team, or like. Exactly. But it could evolve, actually, what we're seeing a lot of celebrities doing now, buying sports clubs. Like, who knows? Like, these guys could would be the next buyer of a Premier League football club.
Yeah, completely. And also, I think he's so diversified where it's like Logan is in the heart of the creator economy. He's in sports. He's in sports entertainment. If you look at WWE, is slightly different. He is in CPG. He is in now even deeper into anime and manga. He recently bought some of the like collectibles around One Piece and Dragon Ball, and he's starting to get a lot of shit for it because some people in that community feel like, oh, is he like a fake fan just coming in to capitalize on the commercial opportunity, which might be, look at this. What does bro know about Dragon Ball? But
the community takes this very seriously.
They do, but he responded to them with just a very strong attitude, like whatever, like I don't care. But he's tapping into culture. He understands what culture is.
Yeah. So like, actually, I liked it that like you brought up the topic anime. I think it's worthwhile to go deep on that. Maybe in our next talk.
I got you.
That is the biggest probably youth culture. I wouldn't call it youth culture anymore, but it's way bigger than I ever saw. I thought it was. So I think it's good that we go a bit deeper on that, like what effect that has on culture, how many big athletes in the world and
Yeah.
sporting clubs, etc., all tap into that culture, trying to reach new audiences in a new way beyond the sports.
I would love to, and I actually, funnily enough, also wrote an essay on anime several years ago as an entertainment asset. So I got plenty of things to talk about there. But look at this real quick. He's ripping Pokemon cards at an event on the field. You know, like this is amazing. He's giving it the speed, etc. Now, maybe one last thing. So next week we will talk about anime. I would also say a topic for the future is that I think Prime gets a lot of shit. There's a lot of downside to, you know, the hype that perhaps has popped a bit, but I'm saying it out loud right now, and feel free to put me on the record here. I think Prime still has a long way to go in terms of growth, and I am bullish on it. And I said to people last night at an investor event, I literally went around saying, I would personally lead a syndicate to invest in shares in Prime on the secondary market if it's available, because I still think that Prime has a lot of potential. A lot of people disagreed with me, but I believe it.
Well, with the power of this media empire behind it, it has a lot of opportunity.
And he's not stopping. He's not stopping. Look, new product, creatine in a protein shake for Prime. He's not giving, and him and KSI as well, right? So these are two of the most impressive media brands, people in the world over the last 10 years. Look at this. Look, it's an anime inspired.
And then we have anime. There you have it. Yeah.
So
That could also be like something I think we need to talk about in the future. Like, it's not always these top creators. They all work with a group of fellow creators. So like, they are very smart in finding the right partners, unlocking new regions, unlocking new audiences, unlocking new interest fields to tap into. They're super smart at that. Exactly. It's all collective.
And these people, this is what culture is. This is what people care about. This is modern day 2026. Logan Paul, Jake Paul.
All right.
Awesome. Okay, so next topic, anime.
Anime it is. Anime is. I'm going to do some reading and video viewing on it. And you recommended some series to me, so which I watch.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'll see you then, Menno.
See you then. Bye.
I'm not kidding.